Are you feeling lucky, as said by the iconic Clint Eastwood? Well, you best be if you're going to be playing the lottery. With the chances of winning, the big one being one in a whopping 300 million, the odds aren't exactly in your favour. In fact, you're more likely to get struck by lightning, hit by a meteorite, or get crushed by a vending machine when getting that stubborn packet of crisps to fall. So, if you end up hitting that sweet jackpot, you'd be feeling pretty lucky. Well, unfortunately, the same can't be said for William Bud Post and Jack Whittaker, who, after winning their respective jackpots, would experience a string of horrendous luck, albeit some self inflicted, that may make even the biggest lottery player think twice about pursuing that winning ticket. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Horror House. It's Dom.
And Amy.
And we thank you very, very much for being with us this week. The fact that you tune in every week and support us means the world. We genuinely wouldn't be able to do this without you. So big love, big thank you. And you're awesome. You're beautiful. Don't ever forget that. Amy, how are you doing today, my lovely?
I'm not doing too bad. I don't play the lottery.
Do you not?
No.
I was about to say, what's the most you've ever won on a lottery ticket?
No, I don't really do it. To be honest, I don't really do any sort of gambling particularly. It's not something that I get my jollies from, you know. I think I've maybe won like 20 quid on a scratch card in the past. Yeah. And I'll occasionally go to like bingo, maybe win like a pony or something. But I've never won anything big.
Who wants £1 million when you can have a pony?
Oh, I don't mean like an actual pony. Sorry, I should clarify.
Oh, I know you mean like a stuffed one. I didn't.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
No, I didn't even mean that. I meant like I meant a pony as in like 100 quid. Sorry. I went.
Oh, I thought you meant I thought you meant like a stuffed one or like a rocking horse or something.
No, sorry, I made it confusing. Basically, the most I've ever won on anything is about 100 quid. But I don't really play the lottery. I used to do like that whole thing, you know, where you have your own numbers. And you like do it every week. I used to do a bit of that, but then I just realised I was spending way too much money, and all I was really winning was like another opportunity to play. And I thought, well, can't be asked. So no, I don't really do it. I don't really gamble. What about you? Have you ever won anything major?
You don't fancy your 1 in 300 million odds of winning lottery there?
No, because knowing my luck, I would be the person that gets crushed by a vending machine. I really like my snacks, so there's a good chance that I'm going to get squished rather than win the lottery.
Fair. Yeah.
So
I mean,
or I'd win the lottery and then start buying things from vending machines, and then I'd get crushed.
And then get crushed by
like that. That's what would happen. I'd be like, I can buy unlimited snacks. I can clear out this entire vending machine. And then when one got stuck, I'd be in the cheapskate that I still would be, even if I won the lottery. I would get crushed trying to get it out.
Can you imagine the irony of winning the lottery and then getting crushed by a vending machine?
It would be quite ironic. Although also I feel like it's lucky, but not necessarily in the good way. Like you've won the lottery, you get crushed by a vending machine, and then the vending machine gets struck by lightning all in one day. And it's like, I mean, what are the chances? They're just, astronomical.
Don't forget about the meteorite.
Oh, yeah, sorry. And then you get hit by a meteorite.
Yeah.
All of those things might happen to one person in one day. That makes perfect sense.
That would be really unlucky. Jesus.
Yeah, it would be pretty shit, wouldn't it? Although you would have won the lottery.
That would be terrible.
So,
That is true.
Not terrible.
The most I've ever won from the lottery, you know, like where you win like a quid on a scratch card. That's probably my lottery story, which unfortunately is very, very uninteresting. I see that you're rocking a very, very cool Bad Luck Clothing t-shirt. I think the people should see it.
I am indeed. Oh my God. It's just an excuse to get my tits on camera. Woohoo! I am wearing a very cool t-shirt. Feel free to, go follow them on Instagram. Via my Instagram, I guess. I don't know, whatever. We'll post a link. Post a
Yeah.
link, Dom.
Yes.
We'll
Put
do
it
it
in
that
the show
way.
notes.
But yeah, I've got a very cool t-shirt on, and I wasn't just doing it so that I could put my boobies on the camera.
Yes, you are definitely rocking a very cool t-shirt. My t-shirt isn't as cool, but it is a Michael Myers t-shirt. Hey.
Yeah, it's very sick. It is now Halloween, so
So
you're allowed to wear it.
absolutely. We were saying before we hit record, September is Halloween Eve. All of September is Halloween Eve. So, Amy, I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to assume that you've never heard of William Post or Jack Whittaker before.
No, I have not.
Okay. Are you ready to hear about their lottery wins and the just avalanche of misfortune that followed?
I think so. I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous, but yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, let's get started. So, William Bud Post III had only $2.46 in his bank account in February 1988. But when this destitute middle-aged man heard about the Pennsylvania State's lottery with a $32 million jackpot, he decided that he would try his luck and give it a shot. He pawned a ring for $40 and gave the money to Ann Carpick, his landlady and on and off girlfriend, in order to get him 40 tickets. However, Anne didn't just buy 40 tickets, she would get an additional 20. That's nice of her.
Oh, cheers,
Yeah.
Anne. I'm sure that won't backfire in any possible way.
Don't say cheers, Anne. Just hold on to that, because maybe it was not a great idea to get 20 more tickets, because one of those probably was the winner.
Uh-oh. I wonder how close they are. We'll see.
Not very. We'll go into why. They're not very close. Not very close at all.
Okay.
So of those 60 tickets, obviously, one of them would make old Willie Post $16.2 million richer. Happy days, right?
Wow, that's a lot of money.
Happy days.
That is a lot of
He's
money
now
that
got...
Willie Post has suddenly come into.
Oh yes.
Like a
Oh
Bimini
yes.
battling.
He's... I was waiting for you to make a pun. I was like, it's going to happen at some point.
Oh yeah. You can't be called Willie Post and not expect me to say something.
I know.
But yeah, 16 point whatever million dollars will probably shut me up. So go for it.
Yeah, like, I'd say happy days. He's got a lot more than $2.46 to his name. Nothing could go wrong, right? Absolutely nothing. Well, a lot could go wrong, in fact, and that's because Post, in just the 2 weeks after his historic win and receipt of the first of his $497,953 annual payment, he would spend more than $300,000 of it. Man's obviously been studying my spending habits.
That's
a lot of money.
Yeah. It reminds me. Have you seen that?
In just 2 weeks.
I think it's either a Vine or a TikTok. I don't know anymore. I'm of a certain generation where everything merges into one. But there's that kid, and he's like, the mum goes to him, "You have $9," and he's like, "Not for long. I make bad financial decisions." It reminds me of that.
Yeah.
Which is, incredibly relatable, because I also make bad financial decisions. But yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I would probably do something similar to this. Like, if I had 400...
What did he spend it on? I think I need to know that before I can make any judgments.
That is the next bullet point, don't worry.
Okay, good.
I won't leave you in the lurch for too long.
No, I definitely need to know.
But yeah, that's legit something that I would do. If I got nearly $500,000, that I would be like, I would spend it on useless shit and it would be bad times. It's not going to be good. Yeah. I have no self-control.
No, me neither.
Bad
Me
times.
neither.
So in answer to your question of what exactly did this man buy to spend $300,000 in just 2 weeks, he would buy the following. He would buy a liquor license. He would buy a lease on a Florida restaurant for his brother and his sister. He would buy a used car lot and its fleet of cars for another brother. He would also purchase, this is the cherry on top of stupid purchases. Okay? Get ready for this one, Amy, because I uncontrollably laughed when I read this. He also purchased a twin engine plane, despite lacking a pilot's license to actually fly said twin engine plane. So
he was doing all right up until that point. Like the other things, they're quite generous. Like, you're buying businesses for your family. That's quite nice. Like that's a nice thing to do. And maybe if you go bankrupt, your family are a little bit more forgiving if you bought them businesses. But a plane? A plane for the sake of a plane.
Literally. You can't even fly it.
To be fair, he got quite a lot for his money. If he only spent $300,000 and he got all of that, he's doing all right. Like he's he's thrifty with it, at least.
It was more. I think it was more than 300, but that was like the ballpark figure.
I mean, even so, that's like what, 2 businesses, a plane, and what was it? What was the first thing? I can't remember, but it's a lot of stuff for $300,000. Like, not terrible. So, although, come on, be a little bit more sensible.
I mean, yeah. Especially because within 3 months he was $500,000 in debt. Whoops.
Okay, what? What? Oh no. Oh, Whitney, honey, what have you done? Oh, that's so confusing. Okay, all right, that's fine. Yikes. He can put it back. Yeah, he'll be okay. He can make something work. I'm sure it won't be the end of the world. Hope, maybe. I don't know.
It doesn't get much better, to be honest.
Oh, Willie.
Oh, Willie. Dear. That's fine. He can. I was about to say he can fly his plane, but he can't.
He can look at his plane.
He can sit in his plane and then think, if only I had a pilot's license to fly this.
Oh, that'd be cute. He can just sit in his plane and cry.
Money isn't everything, but if you can, if you can cry in your own jet, then I mean, that's not a bad thing.
Then you're a better class of depressed than the rest of us.
So the next year, after being estranged from his siblings and forced to stay away from his 6th wife after firing a gun into her car, decisions are not particularly Post's strong suit. He would pay $395,000 for a home in Iowa City, Pennsylvania. I don't know if that's a wise decision when you're $500,000 in debt, but I mean, hey, you do. You gotta live
somewhere, right?
His former landlady, remember Miss Ann Carpick, the one who got him those 20 extra lottery tickets?
Ah, yes.
Would sue him for a share of his proceeds, claiming that they had agreed to split any winnings, which was a claim that Post fiercely denied. So, yes, in answer to your question, they're not on very good terms.
I mean, to be fair, if she's like, you can't prove which ones you bought and which ones she bought. So I would argue that if she's paid for, is it 33%? Like a third, basically, of the overall tickets, then she should get a third of the money. That would be my argument.
I mean, that's a fair argument.
I think that's fair.
That is a fair argument, and that's probably what she was going for. But Post was obviously not exactly a fan of that.
It's already gone, love. You're too late.
Sorry, I spent it on a plane that I can't fly.
Yeah, you want the plane?
Whoop.
Fuck it, take the plane.
So in 1992, when he refused to hand over his yearly payment to satisfy the judge would rule that all future payments must be suspended until the matter was handled. And if having his annual payments frozen wasn't bad enough, Post's estranged brother had a hankering for some of his moolah. And in order to receive, yes, indeed, in order to receive Post's winnings as inheritance, his brother hired a hitman to assassinate him and his sick wife. The attempt failed, and Post's brother was apprehended.
That took a fucking turn. Christ. Okay. What? Oh, the Posts don't seem all that savvy.
Yeah.
They don't seem that smart.
No.
You get the money for a hitman. I have a lot of questions. I have so many questions. And
Dark
I don't think
web, I'm guessing?
What, he got the money off the dark web, or he got the hitman off the dark web? Like,
the hitman, I don't know where he got the money. Unless he's wealthy anyway.
Maybe, but then why is your brother buying you businesses?
Yeah. And if you're that wealthy, you wouldn't need a hitman to assassinate your brother to get his winnings. Yeah.
There's a lot of plot holes here. I'm not sure I'm 100% happy with the story.
So, things aren't going particularly well for old Willie at the moment, and they're not going to get much better, unfortunately. Cash-strapped, the multimillionaire, well, at least on paper, sold off most of his purchases. Visitors to his dilapidated mansion in Oil City observed plywood-covered windows, missing shower stalls, a pool full of junk, an old car on blocks in an overgrown yard, and a broken security system that chirped 6 times every 60 seconds, which would be extremely annoying. Very, very annoying.
Sounds curious. Sounds like the home of a lottery winner. How very fancy. You really have to have a good level of money for that high quality annoyance.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. It's not great. It's not great.
It's not great.
So by 1996, Post had enough of being riddled with debt and made one last effort to get out of it. In an effort to pay off his debts and preserve his savings, he sold the mansion that he paid $300,000. No, it was more than that. It was like nearly $400,000, I think. He sold it for $65,000.
Oh, Willie.
Significantly less than what he paid.
No. Oh, that's not good. Oh, so I feel a bit sorry for him. I don't know. I mean, I say that he did fire a gun into his wife's car. Like, I don't feel that sorry for him. But I was just a bit silly when he just got a bit excited.
Yeah. And this is the thing. Like, this is what happens when you get lots of money and you're a bit naive and maybe you don't have very good self-control. You end up doing this. Obviously, hopefully not firing a car. I was about to say firing a car into your wife's gun. I don't even know how one would do that. Firing a gun into your wife's car. Hopefully you don't do that. No. But I imagine that there's quite a lot of people that win the lottery and then just get wrapped up in it and make ridiculous purchases. And then they end up like with absolutely no money because they just blow it all on ridiculous things.
Yeah. Don't blow your load too soon. Moral of the story.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Taken however you decide to take it.
That was a double one. Oh, I like
it. Just on a roll. What can I say? Can't stop myself. Neither can he. Let me go again.
So yes, he sold the mansion at well, a significant loss. And he
Just a smidge.
auctioned off the last 17 lottery payments that were still owed to him. Very prudent, Post. I can't
Wait,
post.
what? So he auctioned them off? Oh, so for less money. Right, got you.
Yeah.
Sorry, maths isn't my strong point. Got it. I understand now.
Oh dear. I mean, that was a pretty prudent decision.
No.
I don't know how much he would like. I don't know how good of a financial situation he would have been in after that. I
It's
mean,
still not great.
probably still not great, but at least he's doing things to like get some money. At least he's trying. At least he's been like, you know what? Maybe I should try and actually get some money in and stop losing money. Maybe I should change this up a little bit.
Yeah.
Um,
Aw.
Unfortunately for our friend Willie, by the following year, he had used almost all of the $2.65 million that was left to pay off his debts, which is fair. He's got debts to pay. He's going to have to pay them. What wasn't so prudent was the fact that he would also go on to buy 2 further homes, a truck, 3 cars, 2 Harley-Davidson motorcycles, 2 62-inch televisions, a
Oh
luxury
my
camper,
God.
computers, and a $260,000 sailboat. That wasn't so prudent.
Willie.
Yeah.
Such a silly little sausage. Just hold on to it for a little while.
Jesus.
I don't know, buy yourself like something. Do you know what? It's funny, isn't it? Because sometimes when I realise that I've got a little bit of extra money, I'll be like, do you know what? I might just buy myself like takeaway or,
Yeah.
I don't know, a Toblerone or something. Like,
Yeah.
something cute and little. I don't think, oh, do you know what? Could do with a Harley Davidson. I'll just pop that in the basket. Why not? And he's just doing it with like multiple houses and shit. And it's like,
Yeah.
sure, Willie. Sure, Willie. You've made some choices, that's for sure.
Yes. So, Post would eventually be arrested on said luxury yacht in 1998 due to refusing to turn himself in to serve a 6 to 24-month term for an assault conviction. Post had unsuccessfully fought his conviction all the way to the state Supreme Court after being found guilty of firing a shotgun at a man who had come to his Oil City mansion to collect a debt for car repairs. That's a bit of an overreaction there, Willie. I'm not going to lie, mate.
Yeah, a bit.
I don't think you needed to fire the shotgun.
Maybe it's just like anytime he hears the word debt, he just like, the red screen comes down and he just
Maybe.
just gets the shotgun. Doesn't know what else to do.
So after being released from prison, old Willie would live on a $450 a month disability check until his death in 2006. Quote, everybody dreams of winning money, but nobody realizes the nightmares that come out of the woodwork or the problems, he would say in 1993. I was much happier when I was broke, end quote. So that's the story of our friend Willie. Maybe a little bit naive with his purchases, I'm not going to lie.
It sounds like a little bit naive with his purchases, a little bit quick to temper. Just take a chill pill, mate, and, one thing at a time.
Yeah.
Although he was quite generous.
Yeah.
Like I say, he was trying to take care of his family. He was trying to set them up with their little businesses and whatnot. So, all bad,
Yeah.
I guess.
No,
I mean,
true.
he's done it
true.
terribly, obviously. But, at least he tried.
True. And in return for that, his brother tried to assassinate him. There's strong family values.
Yeah, awkward. I'm not sure how that went down at like Christmas dinner the following year. Just like, yeah, God, are you still going on about that?
Well awkward.
Get over it. Didn't happen. Fuck's sake.
He asked like Willie for like the potatoes, And then Woody's like, "What? If I'm not going to give them to you, are you going to try and assassinate me again?" And then the mum's
What
just
you gonna
like,
do? Shoot me?
boys, please, can't we just have a nice family dinner?"
Yeah, Christmas. Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? Because like
Oh dear.
that's a lot of money that he was trying to get out of him. But I can't imagine any sum of money being enough for me to think, yeah, I'm just gonna assassinate my family. It's
Yeah,
just the only logical
yeah.
thing to do. It's just not enough. Like, I guess money is more important to some people than others, but even so, like, would you really kill your own brother for money? It's pretty not really
I think
cool,
it's
is it?
yeah. Like obviously, any rational person wouldn't do it, but I think there are people out there that if if they see like a family member has come into a lot of money, I think they would be like, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that that would happen.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, no, probably
Um,
not.
because money corrupts, doesn't it? So
Absolutely. Yes, it does.
cool. So that was the first of our two stories about old Willie. And before we move
Mm.
on to our next poor soul, Jack Whittaker, I think it's time for a little break. Amy, what do you think?
I agree. I need to go and check my bank account.
I think I do too. I wonder if someone's
Yeah.
kindly put some of their lottery winnings. If they haven't, then oh stuff's gonna go down. I tell
I
you,
mean,
stuff's gonna go down.
we'll get your hopes up, but all right. Double check. You
If
never know.
any
You never know.
if any of the YouTube subscribers would be so kind as to
Yeah,
put
just
in
give it a
some
go.
money,
See how you feel. Might be all right.
that would be grand. We do have a buy me a coffee link. Buy us like 1,000 coffees. That would
That's
be
still
quite
not
a
that
bit of
much
money, I
money.
think. I don't know.
I think that's
It's
like
probably not.
maybe like 3 grand. You know, I mean, it's fine
I mean,
if
I
you
could
want to
do
do
with
it.
three
Obviously,
grand.
do it. Like, feel free. But I'm not going to turn it down. But it's not as much money as you think it is. If you could buy us
And
6 normal coffees,
if Amy turns it down, then I will take the 3,000.
yeah, and
Just
we'll be
just
very
saying.
high on caffeine, but also very high on life
Yes.
and money.
Yes. Absolutely. Cool. So we shall see you back here in just a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody, to part 2 of our episode about some unlucky lotto winners. We've talked about William Post. Maybe, as we said in the break, a financial advisor might have been useful.
Yeah,
It seems like he probably needed one.
just get someone that knows what they're doing. I'm really bad at maths, so I always ask the calculator. And if you're really bad at money, you should probably ask an accountant or someone that isn't bad at money to help you, just to,
Yeah.
ease things along a little bit.
So our second story is that of Jack Whittaker. Um, and if you thought Bud was pretty unlucky, oh
Oh,
boy,
oh no.
Jack, Jack makes Bud look extremely lucky. In comparison, I will say that as with Bud, some of this is self-inflicted. Some of it is very not self-inflicted at all, and is actually
Okay.
um, very sad. Um, but yes, it's yet again a string of bad luck after coming into quite a bit of money. So,
Hmm.
shall we go, Amy?
Let's go. I'm intrigued.
So, the issues would start on Christmas night in 2002, when the construction business owner from Putnam County, West Virginia, won a record breaking Powerball prize. He would accept, after taxes, $113 million in one big sum rather than dividing his $315 million into numerous parts.
Ooh,
So that's quite a bit more than
that's a lot of
old
money.
Willie.
Oh, that made my
113
vagina
million.
clench. Whew, that's a lot of money.
Is that what does it to your vagina?
I
Hearing a
mean, a
lot
lot
of
of things
money
do it to my
thrown
vagina.
around.
You know, if someone got that in their bank, it's definitely not going to not have an effect. Do you know what I mean? It's so it's a lot of money. So it's definitely a lot of. There's a lot I can
Yeah.
overlook for that amount of money.
Yeah. It makes someone extremely attractive, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Let's face it.
yeah, it really does.
Um, so yes, he won quite a bit of money. Um, so the 55-year-old was already worth 17 million when he hit the Powerball bonanza. wi- so he didn't really
What?
need 113 million, but hey ho, he's now worth a very large amount of money.
I mean,
Some
at
people
least
get
though
all the
Willie
luck, don't
Post
they?
only had £2.46 or $2.46 in his bank account when he won. Like,
Yeah.
this bloke don't need the fucking lottery. What are you even playing
No.
for? Dude, what the hell? I mean, good for you, whatever, but blimey.
Yeah.
You don't really need to be
Um,
playing the lottery. You're just doing it for shits and gigs at this point.
yeah. And he does seem that kind of guy after sort of
Oh,
reading
no.
reading it. He does seem that kind of guy that would just be like, he would just do it for shits and giggles, and if he won, he won. If he didn't, he didn't. Um,
Yeah.
so so yes, Whittaker was already worth quite a bit of money, which begs the question, Amy: did he really need another 113 million to turn his sorry life around? The answer is no. He
Oh,
probably didn't.
I mean, you would hope not. How sorry is his life that it takes,
Um,
what, 130 million to turn it around?
right? That's like I don't know. It's like Bill Gates being like, "I need another 100 million because I'm struggling. I need to turn this
Yeah.
around."
I mean, at this point, if I wanted to turn my sorry life around, I'd maybe leave like, I don't know, 30 quid. So
Yeah,
I don't know what he'd do
yeah,
with all that money.
yeah. How the other half live, right?
Mm.
How the other half live. Um, so so no, he didn't really need another 113 million to turn his life around. He seemed to be doing pretty good. Um, However, this Powerball win would set in motion a pretty dire series of events. So
Oh.
Whittaker promised after winning the money that it wouldn't change who he was. Um,
Mhm.
the man who's quite brash anyway, to drive this home, would go to the Pink Pony, which is a strip club close to his house, a week after winning, and he would throw $50,000 in cash on the bar
Fuck yeah, that's the
because
night to be
he can.
working, girls.
Can you imagine? It was fucking Squid Games in there. When he threw that 50,000 in cash on the bar, they were climbing over each other.
I am
Elbows
ripping
were
off
being
G-strings.
thrown. Yeah,
I'm biting dollar bills out of thongs. Like, whatever needs to be done, I'm clapping cheeks to get to that money.
fucking Hunger Games up
I
in
will
there.
never have
Jesus.
worked harder as a stripper than that night. That
Oh
makes it sound like I'm a
dear.
stripper. I'm not a stripper, but I would be if that was what was happening. Like, these
Yeah,
bitches are going down.
yeah. And it like, yeah, battle royale. Like people are like last woman standing, like up in there. God
They're
damn.
like grabbing bottles, they're glassing each other. Poor old Jack's there, like, girls, I just wanted to see some titties. Like, you know, let's
Well,
deal with this later.
maybe he likes to see a scrap. I don't know. Maybe that was better than seeing
Maybe.
some
I mean,
titties.
some people are into that,
Uh,
yes, but
maybe,
pillow fight.
maybe that's his kink. Who knows? Um, qu- uh, quote. My worst nightmare was waking up in the morning and reading in the paper that Jack Whittaker got rolled at the Pink Pony. I mean, that was a quote from the bar manager. Probably
Uh,
not the kind of rolled that he would have anticipated,
I
but
mean, no, but he can't be complaining, surely. Like, you put 50 grand on the bar, like, he's done all right for a night's work.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he was like, yeah, I don't know. I would probably be like 50 grand in cash. Put it in the till. God damn.
Yeah, we don't have that much
But,
booze.
no. Um, so following this, Whittaker would become even more brazen. Months later, he would boast of having $545,000 stored in his Lincoln in the parking lot during a subsequent visit to the club. And what could go wrong? Well, two workers would allegedly drug his drink, and then break into the car and take the money. Whittaker did experience some good luck, however, when the money was discovered close to a dumpster. Um, and to I love this quote so much. When asked why he felt it was wise to carry over $500,000 in cash, Whittaker would simply respond, "Because I can."
Is he attractive? Like, I
No,
feel
if you saw the
like
teaser, if you saw the teaser Tuesday post, he was the first photo of that. So no, he's not very attractive.
oh, no. Okay, maybe not. But, I mean, goddamn, that sort of line, like, would floor a girl. I get it. But also, don't be a knob. Like, you know what's
Yeah,
not attractive is being an idiot, and that's
yeah,
clearly what you're being. So,
yeah,
yes, carry it around if you want to, but don't tell people you're doing it. That's just
yeah,
stupid. You're
yeah,
just throwing money away at that point.
yeah. Exactly, and maybe it was because he was already worth 17 million before, so maybe he's extremely blasé about it. I don't know.
Mm.
But like you said, it's probably not wise when you've got 500,000 in cash with you to then boast that you've got it in your car. It's probably not a fantastic idea.
The thing is, it does make
But
you
that's
wonder
just
because,
me.
like, I don't know how. So to get a considerable amount of money out of any bank in the UK, you have to go through quite a few like security checks. Like you have to
Yeah,
sign quite a lot of
yeah,
documents. And I'm not talking, a massive amount of money. Like I'm talking like maybe anything over about 2 grand. You're having to sign
yeah.
paperwork and make sure that you know, they know who you are. How the fuck are you going into a bank and getting out 500 grand in cash? Like,
Don't know.
surely just such a weird thing to complain about.
I don't
But,
know.
like, the logistics alone are just a nightmare. So, why? Oh, I
Yeah,
don't understand. What was he gonna do
yeah.
with it? Like, if it didn't
I'd,
get
I'd
stolen, what was he gonna do with it? Just
I don't
carry it
know.
around? I've got visions in my
May
head of, that bit in Breaking Bad where, Jesse has all the money and he's just throwing it out the window and, like,
Yeah,
giving it away to his neighbours.
yeah.
Like, I've got visions of that. Maybe he just had one of those moments where he wanted to be a bit generous, but just don't tell anyone it's
Maybe.
that's really dumb.
On another occasion, the general manager and a dancer manager of the same club who were romantically involved were detained and accused of planning to rob Whittaker after spiking his drink. And to put the cherry on top of this rather shit Sunday, 5 months after the original incident of money being taken from his car, another 200,000 was taken from the same car at the same club. Um, Jack, my friend, one, stop leaving bags of money in your car.
Just
And two,
doing it.
maybe go to a different strip club. What is so good about this strip club that you can't go to a different one?
I mean, I don't know. You know the feeling you get when you just go into a strip club and you think, do you know what? This is home. I feel good here. This is my vibe. You don't want to
Maybe.
give that up easy. But also, just stop leaving
No.
bags of money in your car. Like, it's not where it's supposed to
Yeah.
be. Just don't do it. Like, You're not going to
Oh,
ever
dearie
be
me.
out and think, oh, fuck, I forgot my 200 grand. Shit, I
Yeah,
needed that tonight. But
yeah,
what for?
yeah,
What are you going to buy on a night out at a strip club that's cost 200 grand? It doesn't happen. So just leave it at home. Put it in the bank. Just put it
yeah,
somewhere safer than the back of your car.
yeah.
There's my
Yeah, no,
financial
exactly.
advice. There you go. I'm now a qualified financial
Exactly.
advisor. Don't leave it in your car. Check.
Do you think, like, on this third incident, he was like, "Okay, I know that things have gone a bit wrong, but I've got a good feeling. Nothing's gonna go wrong today. It's fine. Everything's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's all
Can
good."
you imagine if
And
he's
then
just gone out to his car in the car park, like window smash, money gone, and he's just standing there going, "What am I doing wrong? What? I don't get crap. I keep getting money stolen. It seems so simple to me." Like, you would hope that after the third time he's realised that it's a fucking bad idea.
do you think on the third time, like you say, he goes out, window smashed, and then he's just like, "Man, I really tried this time. I really tried to do everything right, and it still went wrong. Still went money. What?" Oh.
I put a coat over it.
I put a note on it saying, "Please don't take the money," and they still took the money.
Don't steal me. Yeah. It's just not a good place to keep money, really, is it? But especially not in that quantity.
Oh, dear.
Also,
Yeah,
how
no.
big
Like
is
you
like a
said,
bag with 200 grand in it? Because in my head, like it's huge.
yeah, I'm
But
thinking
maybe it
big.
isn't. I
Maybe
don't
not.
know. What's like the
Maybe
biggest
not.
American bill? Americans, help us. What is the
I
biggest
don't know.
American bill? Is there like $1,000 bill? Because if there is, then maybe it's not that bad. Because then it's
I
just a
think
stack, isn't it?
so. From memory, from obviously last year, so I think the biggest you can get is $100 bill. I'm pretty sure that's the most, but I might be wrong.
Okay.
Americans, correct us in the comments, leave a DM, put in the Q&A
Yeah, help us
section,
out.
help us out. What is the biggest bill?
So
I
it would
wanna
be
say it's 100.
$2,000 bills to be
Yeah,
200 grand, which I don't know, maybe that's just not as much of a pile as I'm thinking it is, but it seems like it would be quite a lot, take
yeah,
up quite a lot of space.
yeah. Well, like you said, I'm thinking, like, this duffel bag must be huge, and that's the
Yeah,
200,000. Like, the 500,000 one must have been fucking humongous. That's what I'm picturing.
yeah. Well, that's exactly
Huge,
it. Like, at
huge
what
thing.
point do you look at this stack of money and think, "Fuck, I can't carry that. I might as well just take the car." That's my thinking. Like,
Yeah,
why haven't they just stolen the whole thing?
yeah. I don't
In
know.
for a penny, in for a pound, and all that.
But yes, please do let us know, whether it's a comment, whether it's on the Q&A section. Just let us know, our American listeners, what is the
Yeah.
biggest dollar bill that you can get, because we're not sure.
Here in the UK, we only go up to 50s. So
Yeah, which is rubbish. I'm gonna
it's
be
actually
honest,
rubbish when you think about it. It's
right?
pretty bad.
Right?
Considering, like, on a night out, if you pay for, like, a fancy dinner, it usually comes to 100. So
Yeah,
you would think we would have a bigger one, but apparently we don't.
yeah.
So
And if
also,
you've only
who the fuck is using cash these days? But that's a different
yeah,
story.
yeah. So Whittaker did gain a reputation for his behaviour throughout the county.
Shocking.
Um, the Washington Post claims that he loudly offered one female barmaid money in exchange for sex while drunk at a neighborhood bar. Um, he would later offer $10,000 to another bartender if she would pose for him in her underwear. You would be shocked to know that both women would turn him down.
What? 10 grand to pose in your fucking hell? Where is this guy? I mean, I'd do it for a lot less.
Uh,
I do it on Instagram for free. I mean, what the fuck?
yeah, fair. It wouldn't take me a lot of money, I don't think, to pose in my underwear.
In your underwear. Naked is different. Naked,
Yeah.
I'd probably still do for 10 grand. But, that's different. But in your underwear, come on, girl, make yourself a bit of money. Invest in something.
But she obviously had her high values. She was just like, "Nah, Jack, nah, not
Oh,
you."
yeah, obviously it's sleazy.
Like,
I'm not just
to
taking away from the fact that it's a sleazy thing to do, but I mean, someone offered me 10 grand to pose in my underwear. You're damn straight I'm doing it.
Mm.
I
I
wouldn't
mean,
even be able to, like, they wouldn't have even finished the question and let me kill.
he did look like a bit of a dirty old man, so I don't know if that
Yeah.
did not help this. Right. And while it's easy to have a giggle and a gasp at a man being a little naive with his money and just a bit cocky, um, these following few incidents are unfortunately a little bit less comical. Um, on September the 16th, 2004, Jesse Tribble, an 18-year-old on and off again boyfriend of Whittaker's granddaughter, Brandy Bragg, would be found dead in Whittaker's home in Tees Valley? Teas Valley? One of those, West Virginia. Um, according to a coroner's report, he overdosed on oxycodone, methadone, meperidine, and cocaine. That's
Damn.
quite a cocktail of drugs.
Yeah, that's a mix.
Yes. A little over 3 months later, Brandy, said to be the apple of Jack's eye, unfortunately would be found dead on a male friend's property, her body wrapped in a plastic sheet behind a broken down van. Methadone and cocaine were discovered in her system. However, the cause of death would be undetermined and nobody would be charged of any crime. That took a bit of a turn, didn't it? Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's nice. So far,
No,
all he's done is be a little bit sleazy. You wouldn't wish that on anyone, let alone,
no,
someone that doesn't really deserve it. He's not really done anything too bad, has he?
no. Um, just like you say, just a bit sleazy and
Yeah.
probably some poor decisions with leaving bags of money. So he
I
definitely
mean,
didn't.
you say that, right? It is a poor decision. And telling people about it is an even poorer decision. But technically, you should be able to do it. Like, you should be able to
Yeah,
leave a bag of your own money in your own car without having to worry. What
yeah,
he's done there isn't bad. What the other people have done in taking advantage of that information and breaking into the car and stealing the money, that's bad. Was
yeah,
he a bit silly in thinking
yeah,
that he could trust people not to do that? Yes. But what he's done isn't anything illegal or horrible. It's just probably a bit naive, you know?
yeah,
So
yeah.
I wouldn't say that he's done anything
Oh no, he hasn't done anything
horrible or
bad.
bad at this point. He's
Um,
just been a bit silly.
just yeah, it's just been a bit silly. So at a hearing for his DUI from January 2003, on October 11th, 2005. So the DUI was from 2003. Court hearing was in 2005. A visibly upset Whittaker would lash out at local law enforcement for focusing on his troubles while failing to arrest anyone in relation to his granddaughter's death, saying, quote, "Go after whoever killed my granddaughter with as much zealous as these buttholes are trying to convict me of something I didn't do." That's a pretty good quote, I'm not going to lie.
I think that's probably quite fair as well.
Yeah,
You want the focus in
yeah,
the right places, and clearly it isn't. So fair enough.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, I couldn't find anything on whether the police did a thorough investigation, so I can't say if there was good police work or bad police work. I don't know, but yeah,
Mm,
um, he wasn't particularly happy that they were um, going after his troubles and
yeah.
not looking for his granddaughter's killer. Um, so Whittaker was one to enjoy gambling or gaming, but that also proved to be a bit disastrous when Caesars Atlantic City filed a lawsuit against him for bouncing a $1.5 million check written to cover his losses.
Damn.
He filed a countersuit arguing that they actually owed him money and that his losses should have been reimbursed because of a slot machine that he created. Don't know if that's a I don't know how good of a cover that is for a $1.5 million bounce check.
No, I don't know how good it is either. To be honest, I don't really fully understand the whole gambling thing and how it works. As someone that doesn't personally gamble, I have
Yeah,
no idea, what the deal is. But generally, I think casinos when you're gambling in the way that he probably was because he had a lot of money, I think they tend to like give you a line of credit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's what I've heard.
it would imply that he was in debt before it ever got to a
Yeah.
stage where they owed him anything. And if what
Yeah.
he won or contributed or whatever doesn't cover that, then yes, he would owe you money. And also,
Yeah.
if you believed that the casino owed you money, why would you bother writing a check in the first place?
I
He's
I
obviously like,
I
oh
don't
shit, I do owe you money. Here you
yeah.
go. Let's see if this works. And then when it didn't, was like,
Yeah.
oh, you owe me money. Shut up. Like it's a bit,
Oh, no,
yeah.
the check bounced. Oh, could have seen that coming.
This Insta, just shut up. I had no idea that was going to happen as I was leaving the state.
Yeah. He gives them the check and he just slowly backs out of the room. Just like, "Oh, they're gonna buy it. They're gonna buy it." Ah, oh, no.
Yeah, the check's like from Monopoly and is written in crayon. It's just like that'll definitely work. That will go through, I guarantee it.
Yeah. Um, following another casino squabble, he would reach a settlement with a lady named Kitty French, who would accuse him of
Great name.
sexually assaulting her at the
Oh,
Tri-State Racecourse. It is a pretty good name. That wasn't so great.
no.
Um, the cool name though. Um,
Yeah,
yes,
sorry, that was a roller coaster. Yeah.
that was a little bit.
Great name, extra thought. Fuck.
We're not laughing at the second part of that
No,
sentence, people. We're
no,
just
you're not.
laughing that was a quick turnaround.
Yeah.
So yes, Kitty French would accuse him of sexually assaulting her at the Tri-State Racecourse and Gaming Center in Charleston, West Virginia. In 2007, Whittaker would state that he couldn't pay because he was broke. How did this happen? I hear you ask. Well, he would state, according to CBS News, a quote team of crooks cashed fake checks and quote got all my money. According to Whittaker, the thieves went to 12 branches of the City National Bank and would cash 12 checks. I don't know.
Mm,
I
okay. All right. I mean, I guess it could happen.
I,
Mm,
big part of me is just like he didn't want to pay the settlement. Unfortunately, I wish that wasn't the
yeah.
case, but yeah, I don't buy that.
It just seemed a bit vague, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah.
do you, do you know what it reminds me of? Um, I don't know. Sorry, I'm gonna deep dive into like a bit of Friends trivia here.
Okay. Okay. Go.
But there's an episode where Phoebe is trying to teach Joey how to lie, and he's like, he can't get away from the idea that this raccoon comes and does everything. So he'll be like, oh, and then this raccoon came in, and took all the money, and this is what it reminds me of. It's like, oh well, I'm broke, and you know what? This gang of crooks, they just came in and they took all the money, and I don't know how it happened, but it happened because I've got no money.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that. It's like if he turned around and went, I had millions, but then this raccoon came and took all the money, so now I can't pay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
my bad. It
Yeah. Yeah.
doesn't seem right.
That's
Like, also, you wouldn't have all your money in one place. Like, Mr. Post, he might have done like 16 million is a lot of millions to you and me, but to people that are rich, isn't that much money. Like, you could easily
yeah.
have that in one place without, and obviously, because you've taken it yearly as well. You could easily have that in one place and have it just sitting there, and it could easily therefore be robbed. But for a man like that, who's got experience with money and having a lot of it from prior to his lottery win,
Yeah.
and then B, a hell of a lot more money sitting around, you don't just have
Yeah.
it sitting in one place. Like, you don't have
No.
just one, even like a set of bank accounts with one bank, because
Yeah.
it leaves you open to people robbing you of your money. you have it in offshore accounts, you have it in, investments in stocks, in bonds, you do
Yeah.
stuff with it so that if you're ever in a position where someone robs part of your wealth, you don't lose all of it. So I refuse to believe that these 12 crooks went in and
Yeah.
took all of his money from the one place that he had it. It
Yeah.
just doesn't sit right with me,
Yeah. It's just not a very good cover story, I don't think.
No.
Like I said, I just, unfortunately, I think he just didn't want to reach the settlement, or pay the settlement, and that was sort of his excuse. But like you said, if you're smart about it, you don't have all of that money in one bank account. You divvy it out, and you do what you can to make sure that people can't get their hands on it by having it in different places, and by putting it in this, and by doing that and this and that, etc.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm not quite buying that, Mr. Whittaker, unfortunately. So Whittaker, or Whittaker's 42-year-old daughter, Ginger Whittaker Bragg, who was obviously Brandy Bragg's mother, would unfortunately also be found dead near Daniels, West Virginia on July the 5th, 2009. The cause was not explained, but authorities didn't suspect that there was any foul play. Following this, things seemed to quiet down for Jack, which I'm sure to him was a release. Was a relief. He's lost his daughter, his granddaughter. His granddaughter's on and off partner died on his property. He's had lawsuits. He's had money stolen from him. He's, a whole heap has been thrown at old Jack. So he was probably quite relieved when things started to sort of not be a bit of a palaver.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds it.
So, and then his house would catch on fire in the early morning of December the 2nd, 2016.
I feel like you're doing that thing that I do where I give you a nice little story and then I drop something major into it, and you're just doing that, but instead of doing it once, you're just going, oh, here's another thing and another thing and another thing and another thing, and I'm just sitting here like, what's happening? Okay, so now his house went down. Cool, good. I mean, not good, bad. What?
So yes, and I didn't mean to laugh at that. I more laughed at Amy's reaction.
Yeah, sorry,
that was
I'm a
quite
bit
funny.
mind blown at the minute.
But yes, after a period of, I was going to about say serenity. I don't know if it was really serenity. It was just a period of nothing going a bit wrong. His house would unfortunately catch fire in the early morning hours of December the 2nd, 2016. And I know what you may be thinking, Amy and listeners. Excuse the pun. He's burned through a lot of his money. And this is him trying to get some insurance claim. This is him trying to get some insurance payout.
Yeah.
He didn't have that home insured.
Oh.
So he wasn't going to get an insurance payout.
He's just a bit of a silly goose, isn't he? Jack Whittaker is the king of the silly geese. That's what I'm learning here.
He's the silliest of the gooses.
The silliest goose.
He is the silliest goose. So when firefighters did eventually arrive, the house was entirely engulfed in flames, and unfortunately for Jack, it would be declared a complete and utter loss. Whittaker's wife was in the house when the fire started. However, thankfully, she was able to escape safely, and there were no injuries reported. So
good. Fucking hell.
Can you imagine if
I thought you were going to say it again? I thought his wife was in the house and she died. I don't know how many more I can take.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, can you imagine, if his wife didn't get out the house? Can you imagine Jack then? My goodness me, I don't know what he would have done if that happened.
Yeah. Me neither.
But yes, she was able to escape the house and wasn't injured. Now,
Good.
I know this might come off as victim blaming in a way, and that's not the intention. But even before the lottery win, with that much money, how do you not have your home insured? That's just wild to me.
All right. You know,
Help me out here, Amy.
you know that I love an argument. I don't agree. I do think you should always have home insurance because it makes fucking sense. But, but I will put forward a counter argument because that's who I am as a person. I'm
Okay.
a stubborn little fuck and I like to do that. Um, if you've got enough money, the whole idea of having insurance is that you replace the items that you've lost with the money that you would gain from the insurance. If you've got a shit ton of
Mhm.
money and your house burned down, are you really going to care about getting that money back? Or are you just going to start again from scratch, buy yourself a new house, buy yourself new stuff? Do you really even need that money? Is paying that monthly premium or whatever it is that you pay for it? Because bear in mind, obviously, the bigger the house, the more stuff, like important stuff you've got in it, the more the cost of the insurance goes up. So is paying it just something that you can't be asked to do? You can't be asked to, pay that monthly payment. What you'd rather do is, oh, well, that was burned to the ground. Luckily, I've got 130 million in the bank, so I'll just buy a new one and buy new stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think your items that you have almost hold a lot less value if you haven't necessarily had to work your ass off for them. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's things in my
Yeah.
house that I'm not a rich person, but I've worked for the money to buy them, and therefore they mean a lot to me because I know that I've had to work for them. Whereas if you're very, very rich, that, Xbox that I've had to work for, you haven't. So if your Xbox breaks,
Yeah.
you just buy a new one. Whereas for me, that's like a financial fucking ruin. It's upsetting. So maybe you're not as bothered about insurance. That would be the counter argument. That being said, I don't believe that counter argument. It was fucking dumb. Just pay for the insurance. Don't be a knob. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think that's maybe
I
why.
can. I
If you
can.
don't place as much value on it, what's the point in insuring it? If it's
Yeah.
replaceable to you, then replace it.
Yeah. And I can see that. Like he's got a lot of money, so he probably was of the attitude of, well, if I lose my house, then it's not difficult for me to buy another one.
Yeah.
He seems the kind of guy that like would have that attitude as well. He's just like, I
Yeah.
can buy another house. No biggie.
Yeah.
Um, but like we said at the same time, like maybe have some insurance. It
Sure
just
thing.
seems like the intelligent like thing to do. like
Yeah.
um so yes, that was the cherry on top of Jack Whittaker's um pretty dire run of um partly bad decisions and partly bad luck. Um
Mm.
so Jack Whittaker would um pass away on June the 27th, 2020 at the age of 72. Um, after a long illness. However, no other information was revealed. Um, he once told the Associated Press that, quote, I'm only going to be remembered as the lunatic who won the lottery. But a strong argument could be made that Jack Whittaker may go down as the unluckiest Powerball winner in history. And that is our case of some quite unlucky Lotto winners. Does this make you less willing to go and find that winning ticket, Amy? Would you still fancy your chances? Would you still want to win the lottery, even though it might bring you some horrendous luck afterwards?
Uh, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be the person that sits here and says, do you know what? I don't fancy winning the lottery. Nah, I won't bother. I'll take my fucking chance. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll give it a go. Will do
I
my
know, I
best to not be unlucky. I
know.
would happily, take the lottery winning. But that being said, I'm also a very firm believer in the idea, and not to get, all hippie or peace and love about it. But I am very much a fan of, I'm not a fan, but a supporter of the idea that the things that make you happiest in life don't come from having money.
Yeah.
Um, and money can only get you so far. You know, it's as long as you're living a comfortable life with people around you that you love, then how much money do you really need? I think in both of these cases, the money is what's brought about the bad luck. You know, he wouldn't have been robbed if he didn't tell people about the money. William Post's brother wouldn't have tried to kill him if it hadn't been for the money. So it's very difficult to put an argument forward that yes, you know, money is good in the case. But I think it all depends on what you do with it. You know, if you've got enough
Yeah.
money to be able to help other people and all of that kind of thing, then it's a good thing. Like I think everyone's done the thing where they daydream or they fantasize about what they would do if they win the lottery.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm also incredibly guilty of, and yes, there's some things that I would buy for myself that, you know, I think most people would, like a bigger house and, you know, whatever it is. I don't drive, so I wouldn't necessarily bother about cars. But, you know, just certain things that would make your own life a little bit more comfortable. But always in those scenarios, my things tend to be, okay, well, I'd make sure that, you know, my family was comfortable and I'd make sure that some of my friends had a bit of money as well, because I don't want to be rich without, you know, and be able to do rich people things without having friends to do it with. So I would spread that wealth around. And
Yeah.
then if I can, you know, go to a charity that I support and give them a shit ton of money that's going to have a huge impact, then why not? Because like I say, money can only get you so far when it comes to happiness. And once you've got the nice house and you've got yourself set up and you've got your family comfortable, there's only so much you can spend shopping. Do you know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
can only buy so many pairs of shoes,
Yeah.
and then it
Yeah.
just becomes a bit pointless. So why not give some of it away? And I mean, Will Post tried to do that. He tried to, you know, set up his
He
family, and I
did.
think that's
Yeah. Yeah.
respectable. It's just the case that unfortunately his family were a little bit, well, one member of his family in particular was a little bit greedy. And Jack, you know, yeah, he was just a bit silly. I think that's all it is. Like, I don't think there's anything malicious in anything that he did. He was just a little bit dumb, right? Made some
Yeah.
bad choices and had a lot of
Yeah.
really bad luck. Perfect.
Ah,
Perfect.
see?
Had a
See?
lot of really bad luck. Which we all have from time to time. It's just that we don't have as much money to lose when the time comes around.
Yes, absolutely. Also, you say you don't have a car. William Post also didn't have a pilot's license, and that didn't stop him from getting a plane.
Well, yeah, this is true. This is true. So maybe I would buy a couple of cars just to fucking sit in and cry. You know, why not? Work for Will Post, why not me?
Yeah, because I mean, let's be honest, crying in a Lamborghini or a Ferrari will soften the blow a little bit.
Absolutely. It really would.
Um,
Like, saying that, if I'm going to go in, I might as well just buy a plane. I can't
but
fly or drive, so why not just go straight to the plane and skip the
well, yeah,
middleman,
no,
you
that's
know?
true. That's true. That is very true. Um, but yeah, it's just like you said, I don't think there was anything malicious intended. It was just bad decisions, a bit of naivety. Jack was probably a bit of a don't want to say it, maybe a bit of a cocky, arrogant guy who, you know, thought that, oh, I can leave $500,000 in a car. I can leave
Yeah.
$200,000 in a car. Um, but like you said, I don't think there was any ill intent. It's just when especially when people know that you've got a lot of money, um, you know, things can go a bit wrong.
And people take
What's
advantage. People take
yes,
advantage, you know, if people know you've got the money. It's one of the reasons that, you know, big UK lottery wins, they get sort of counselling and they get like advisors on how to handle publicity and HR
yeah,
people and stuff like that. And it's because you win a considerable amount of money and it gets publicized, and suddenly every fucker that you've ever met in your life comes out of the woodwork with a sob story. And as much as it's lovely to help people, not all of those people are going to be honest. Not all of those people are going to be genuine about what they need. And they're certainly not all going to be, not have malicious intentions. And you have to be careful with that. And I think, yes, Jack Whittaker maybe was a bit arrogant. He maybe was a bit of a show off in, saying, oh, I've got this much money in my car. But that doesn't make him a bad person. And
No.
it certainly doesn't mean that someone should then feel free to go and commit a crime against him, which is essentially what happened. So, it's a difficult one. It's, money definitely changes people. Although it sounds like Jack wasn't really changed that much because he was already rich, but still.
Yeah, it Willie seems that it changed Willie more than it changed Jack. Jack was just Jack with
more
Jack
money.
was just Jack, after winning the lottery, Jack was just Jack, but he cranked up the dial a little bit.
Yeah.
It was Jack extra.
Yeah, he turned that shit up to 11.
Yeah. But as the old saying goes, Amy, mo money, mo problems.
Indeed.
And also don't win the lottery, people. It just brings bad luck. Just don't do it.
Yeah. But if you do, what's your number? Right.
Yes.
I'm so poor.
We are struggling. We are struggling. We are struggling content creators. Just there.
That would be nice.
It could bring.
Why not donate to your favorite podcast?
Yes,
that's what I'm saying.
Yes, absolutely, and none of that money will go to us. It's all go to the podcast.
It's all going to get reinvested straight back in. Yeah.
If you see me with a massive gold chain, you didn't see me with a massive gold chain. You didn't see that at all. No.
As if that's what you buy.
No, I wouldn't buy that. I don't know what I would. I don't know. I'd probably get a PS5 more than anything because I'm a nerd.
I'd get a tiger.
A tiger. Oh, that would be cool.
I'd be fucking Tiger Kinging it up.
Can you you put a sign on I don't know, like your gate or something, like beware of tiger, and any burglar would just see that and they'd be like, there's no tiger in there, it's Stratford, and then they climb over and there's this big fuck off tiger.
Yeah, and you know what I'd name the tiger in that situation? I'd call it Karma.
Karma, I like it.
Yeah. Because if you break into my house, Karma's going to get you.
You should give it a name that someone would give a really small dog. Princess or something. Sprinkles. I'm not worried about Sprinkles. It's fine. Sprinkles ain't nothing. Hops over the gate and they're Sprinkles.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to spend my money.
Listen to us. We are wise financial experts.
Absolutely. I've given sound financial advice this entire episode. Rule number 1, do not leave it in your car. Rule number 2, invest in tigers. Rule number 3, more money, more problems. That's my financial advice. That's all you need.
Evie, would you like to see us out this week?
I would absolutely love to. Thank you so much for listening this week. If you are going to buy a lottery ticket, then go for it. You might win. Who knows? And if not, you can always hold out hope that you're going to get crushed by a vending machine instead. If you do wish to support us, please do. We need the support. We're so sad, and we love hearing your comments and your voices and your opinions, and we like to hear you tell us that we're cute, and we are cute. So why not let us know? Leave a comment, leave a review, leave a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to everything that we do, including our Instagram, and Spotify podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a little like. If you wish to help us out financially, you can do so by buying us a coffee. Don probably won't drink it, but so why not do that? Or you can visit the merch store and pick yourself up a little treat. You can also join Discord. I've been woefully slack on there recently and really not posted anything at all. But I will if you join. Next week's episode is going to be something a little bit more current, a little bit more in the news as we speak.
Yes.
Ooh, stay tuned for that. But until next time, we will catch you on the flip side. But until then, stay spooky.
Stay spooky, bitches. I think I'm going to avoid that strip club. What was it called? I can't remember what it was called. What was it called?
Pink Pony.
Pink Pony? Was it Pink Pony?
I think so. It was something pink. I don't remember seeing that bit in the Barbie movie, to be honest.
Where are we? Oh, no, it was the Pink Pony. You're right.
Yeah, I do pay attention to you sometimes.
Avoid the. I'm going to avoid the Pink Pony. I mean, I don't have $50,000 that I can slam on the bar anyway, so I don't think anyone's going to be particularly annoyed that I don't go.
I do not clap these cheeks for anything less, I'm afraid.
That's a high rate. God damn.
Worth it.